All right. So, Tool, I wanted to talk about this because Tool's in a little bit of trouble here with their fan base because um, they basically said that they would have a 2 night show and they would play different songs on each show. And some bands, they're so big, they're going to play repeat songs, but Maynard from Tool basically said that each night would be an own individual experience, and they did not do that. But taking a step back for a moment, Tool is has a very passionate fan base because a lot of their songs have like a lot of different meanings to them, and they're very complex. And to be a Tool fan, it's almost like tasting like being a wine taster, which coincidentally Maynard owns his own winery. Anyways, um, getting into Tool, it's almost like an experience for people that get really attached to the music. To a point where Maynard, this is Maynard, uh, he hates how famous people are treated, and he pushes back at that a lot. And the way it was perceived by fans and knowing Maynard once you get deep into Tool, seems like it was kind of a slap in the face to the fans, especially when tickets were going for close to $8,000. So some people were spending as much as like $17,000. I mean, that's almost $20,000 plus trip, plus hotel, plus all that good stuff to go see this band that they idolize, basically, only to hear the same songs 2 nights in a row. Now, the argument to that is, I don't know. I feel like if you're that famous, you kind of owe it to the fans, or like at least be careful with your verbiage on what your concert is going to be, like what kind of show you're going to put on. The first example that comes to my mind is a band like total opposite of Tool, but Dave Matthews Band. Like they will go out and just have fun every single night. Like they're gonna throw some bangers in there, and to their credit, they do have a lot of bangers. But they'll still throw it in each night. But at the same time, it'll be a little bit different every night because they're basically freestyling on stage. Now I know Tool is the master of um, like complexity, but organization in their songs. And this is a really good article I found on the Far Out, talking about kind of going into deep detail with this a little bit. I mean, I'll read a little bit of this. I really don't understand this, but a lot of their most successful songs have had some kind of pattern to them as far as I feel dumb saying it this way, but um, I'll just read the article. How about that? Anyone with a passion for complex time signatures will be aware that Tool have always been the masters of somehow squeezing in convoluted methods of counting into their music. The example, Tempest flits. Again, I meant to put fits between 5/4 and 11/8 time, as though that's a completely normal thing to do. Another example is their track Schism, which they've described as being 6.5/8. You might think that's just a silly way of describing 13/8, but in actual fact, the mean average of all the different time signatures in the song, which change a total of 47 times. Don't worry, there's actually plenty of examples of a song where the utilization of unconventional time signatures doesn't feel at all contrived, and where metric modulation isn't just shoehorned in the most self-congratulatory way possible. Progressive rock acts like wow, I was doing so good, and then I can't pronounce King Crimson, and yes, are known for having made great use of unusual time signatures. Where was the cool part here? Oh, here you go. This is the cool part. All music hinges on the use of mathematics, and while that allows us to place some sense of rationality to the different time signatures that we use, whether that's straightforward 4/4 or an unwieldy 17/16. But when artists begin to throw more complicated theorems and concepts, that's when things start to feel unnecessary. You know, you just know that there's some motherfucker out there who has tried to compose a circular piece of music in pi 1/4 and tried to justify it in the most chin-scratching, obtuse manner. Regardless, Tool like to wear their penchant for changing time signatures as a badge of honor. And while it might seem pretentious, and it is undeniably clever. In fact, there was one moment in their career that bassists claims rescued their third album, Letarius, due to how mathematically complex structure boosted their passion for writing together during the turbulent period. The album's title track goes from one bar of 9/8, then a bar to 8/8, followed by a bar of 7/8, before repeating itself. Chancellor stated within an interview with Revolver magazine that he saw it is something that kept getting shorter and shorter, like a spiral. It kind of folds into itself. He initially wanted to name the song 987. However, things became even more revelatory when the song began to develop even further with Maynard Keynes' lyrics. Maynard had no idea what I was thinking when he went to track the vocals, but as the song's folding and changing, he's singing about the idea of a spiral and how you are basically trying to achieve something that's never been achieved, and you have to keep reaching for something that you don't understand. I thought that was an incredible synchronicity. So that's a pretty great example of how Tool goes about their music. They are very calculated in what they do, and it seems to come naturally to them, which is why I think Tool works as a band so well, and why people are just like obsessed with them. I mean, they have I can't play this, but like they're all super trippy and bounces on different themes, and people really love them. Like a lot of their songs are cool. Like they just have cool songs. So when we get to this at the Sand Festival in the Dominican Republic from March 7th and 8th, The Rock performed 2 sets at the festival, and several fans were left disappointed after shelling out lots of money only to discover the second night's performance was a repeat of the first. Many fans paid upwards of $7,500 for 2 concerts that spanned 2 nights. So, okay. Over exaggerated in the beginning, I guess. It was $7,500 for 2 nights, so $3,500 a ticket. Still nothing to sneeze at. That's still pretty damn high. The crowd turned on the rock band by booing them, with one fan threatening a class action lawsuit over the repeat set lists. Performed at a lingerie club in Hollywood, 1992. What is this? I'll never pay to see them again. One fan wrote. Reddit blew up over this, by the way. Reddit was going crazy. They're like, no freaking way. People reported that during the first set, the Rockers played 10 songs, including hits like Stinkfist, Schism, then proceeded to play 9 songs on the next night, 4 of which had been played the previous set late. Why did I fly to the Dominican Republic on a 3-night ticket to watch an hour of repeat songs from the night before? Not sure what to say, but this was a very disappointing show. Tool fan Stas Rustic, a Georgia-based lawyer, had a clear opinion of the show. He issued a statement to Louder Sound, noting that he is considering launching a class action lawsuit against the promoters of the festival. He said the band didn't provide the 2 unique sets they promised in the advertisement of the show. On the beach. See you tomorrow on the beach. There was a palpable sense of betrayal in the air as the show began the second night, and it lingered throughout the remainder of the weekend. Most Tool fans like me have attended multiple shows on the same tour, and we know that due to the spectacular and complex nature of their show, most songs will be repeated. That's actually worth noting because the lasers of the show and the images are so trippy. I've never been, but I've just seen videos of it. I mean, I'm not paying $500 a ticket. They get pretty freaking high. The closest one to me would have been like Philly when they go around. I did check tickets and I wanted to go, but it was like literally $350 for like nosebleed seats. So I'll pass on that. However, this is not what the festival attendees were promised. I'm a huge Tool fan, but also a festival attendee who feels your pain and seeks justice for all those that ripped off by a classic bait and switch. Let's see if they go into it. Tool in the Sand was billed as an all-inclusive destination festival at the Hard Rock and Royalton Resorts in Punta Cana. The lineup performers include Primus, Mastodon, and Coheed and Cambria, among others. They've been everywhere, by the way, randomly. Coheed and Cambria, I think they opened up for Incubus on their most recent tour, which is interesting. Yeah, they kind of fit in everywhere. Anyways, maybe I'll do a video on them. The festival's website said the package included a room at either the Hard Rock or the Royalton Putankana, food and drinks, and all music events, transportation to and from the airport. Tickets range from $2,300 to $7,775, depending on room size and personal factors. Let's see what else. 100 fans ready to sue Tool. Is Tool being a bunch of tools? Let me see if there's anything actually in here talking about what a lawsuit would look like. Doesn't have a filing date in mind. As soon as ethically possible. I expect a few dozen or more per day for the next few weeks. As far as lawsuits, not exactly Fire Festival level chaos. Don't share in law, brutal loss. In fact, we're even talking about this. Does the Jules a problem? May not be necessarily a legal problem. Okay, so they're more suing the promoters. 100 fans have signed up for the class action lawsuit, with more expected to be added in the coming weeks. What does this number tell you about the strength of the case? The number doesn't tell you much. Type of thing, no ban once. The main thing I tell my students when related as an artist, you don't want fans. Yeah, okay, whatever. The lawsuit hinges on the fact that fans were promised 2 unique sets. Yes. That's where the crux of the dispute is. The extent that the bias for the lawsuit is false advertising. There might be a little bit of fast and loose with lingo in the world unique. 2 different ways. Each night will play a single and unique song. There's a legitimate argument for fans to expect no overlap. There's also an argument for the band that unique does not necessarily mean every song on the set list. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's misleading for sure. If you say unique, I mean, I guess you could play songs differently. Tool is known for having longer songs. I mean, there's obviously shorter ones, but a lot of the really good ones are very long. I think Tempest is like 12 minutes long. Actually, let me just take a look. Song length. I can't spell. Wow, I gotta do keyboard. That sucks. Song length of Tempest. Yeah, 15 minutes. I was underproducing. Yeah, Tempest it's actually, I think it's a Grammy-winning song too, if I'm not mistaken. Rock band Tool, 15 minutes length, final song on this decision. Fear Inoculum is a good album. Song peaked at number 6. Yeah, won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance. Yeah. Very good song. Very good song. I actually like that album quite a bit. Anyways. If you guys aren't familiar with Tool, I'm a big Cher fan. Okay, so I mean, this guy lost all credibility. How are you going to be talking about Tool if you're a biggest fan of Cher? You know, nothing. If I were going to a Friday festival, Cher's going to headline, I would want to hear I could turn back time every day. For 5 days, certain things where it's like, is this song iconic? It is associated with deep cuts. Are 4 repeating songs excessive? Ticket prices. I'm someone who buys concert tickets in a lot of different price points. Here's the thing, everybody's going to see the same music. Okay. There's no guarantee for specific songs played, and that's all at the discretion of the performers. The attorney spearheading the lawsuit was present at the festival, which makes his effort to rally fans to sign up more personal. I don't criticize the lawyer. Taught us in school was never represent yourself. And that's, okay. So because he's got his own little feelings about it, my gut tells me this isn't going very far in terms of a court suit. Tool hasn't commented. Yeah, I mean, all that's really going to happen is Tool's just going to be more careful in what they say, but like for a couple days there, I mean, people were roasting Maynard and Tool for doing that. It's kind of disappointing. I mean, if you look at the way, it's just in general the way like Maynard talks about his fans, like you should be a little bit more, I don't want to say that. Shouldn't be more grateful, wouldn't be the right way to put it. But, I mean, I guess if you like Tool, you like Tool. If I saw, I don't know, I'm trying to think. If I saw A Day to Remember, which I have many times. I don't think I'd be that disappointed hearing the same songs about like over and changing up like a couple songs here and there. Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool if you did. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of up to the band, I guess. Now that I'm thinking about this more, like it would be awesome if they did. Maybe one night was Fear Inoculum. They just played the full album. But if I was Tool and I was thinking like them, they probably think that was hacky. They probably just want to play what they want. But it doesn't change the fact that fans were really pissed about it. I was curious if they actually were going to get sued because it actually showed up on like big time magazine, newspaper, article type deals. Like, is Tool going to get sued? Yeah, it was supposed to be like a big time. Well, maybe people will know now not to buy the tickets for both nights. That'll probably what it comes down to. Let me see if there's anything different. I just happened to see this article. They quit 30 minutes early tonight, and if you hated Tool fans, this is what you would do. Yeah, so the band even left earlier the second night. They were booed mercifully. Yeah. Active playing two songs, the bone of the contention on the original billionaire Tool in the desert would consist of two unique sets. And now, League of Professional, we assume fan. Boils down to is that purchasers of the festival package were promised two unique sets. The reality is the opportunity to see Tool play two unique sets, no repeats, was a determining factor for most attendees to pull the trigger on thousands of dollars to attend. I guess that's fair. I could see both sides. But yeah, that's what this Tool controversy is about. So let's move right along here.